Hi, I'm some dipshit. Hi, hello. I'm just streaming for a little bit. I guess. See, what the fuck should I do? Run around like a clown? Let's pick it. What I've been reading is that there's like some kind of weapon you can get. Some rank 1 weapon. It's really cool. I kind of want to find that out. Where's my fucking sound? It's not funny. There it is. So I'm going to be on for a little bit. I don't know how long. No less than like 3 hours. But let me find out what this item is. I already have it. I already have it. Shit. The prize redemption coupon from the Log Bonanza event issued by the Log House management maybe. Oh, no. So let me go to a logging first. See what I can do. Let me check my sound real quick and do. Sure, I'm saying. Let's do something I like. Bob, am I even streaming? Look at YouTube. Okay, yeah. Listen for a second. Let me go turn down my fan. My fan's loud. I forgot to hold on high. Okay, I'm here. I turned down me fan. I usually have it on high because it's Florida, and it's fucking hot right now. It's so hot outside. I was trying to take out the trash, and then walk to my car, and I was just dripping in sweat. And I sweat a lot, but it was just burning up. It's only like 88 degrees, too. I mean, I haven't been out really today, so maybe it's cooled down. But yesterday it was really hot. The bonanza noodle. Give me my shit, yo, yo, yo. Give me my shit. What, oh, what? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Bitch? The fuck? What's your old Matt having ass up? I forget which mobile I tried to. I would have thought it was the bonanza mobile. But it's the dealer mobile. Oh shit. I don't know what to get. What? No. Red Mage Thief or Dredger Dancer. This is pretty dope. You hear movement speed goes up. And haste. Shit. I saw some people with this one on Reddit, but hmm, extends the duration of standard abilities used on stuff by 25%. Increases skill chain duration. Weird. About implementing. Physical damage limit. Weapon skill strength plus 10%. That's fucking awesome. Dude, there's so much good stuff. What's the dragon item? Accuracy, mind, weapon skill mind. Occasionally absorbs water damage. Premium heart. Drop grip potency. Save the queen. Hair knife. Hmm. Hand-to-hand skill. Hmm. Are they trying to encourage you to sub-monk? The thing is, I want something I could probably use multiple jobs with. Unless it was like a really good weapon for red mage. Chocobo Knife, I might go. I think I'm gonna go with Chocobo Knife. That's pretty dope. I can't wear it as a puppet master though, but that's fine. It's so quiet. Patio design, plan document, plan into space. Okay. Hmm. Oh, I have two of these. I can get two items. Hmm. I need to go somewhere. Damn, that's a lot of people. It's probably a bunch of whatchamacallits, storage mules, just all following each other. I mean, that's fine. Or it could be just like two really cool people all following each other. I guess. What? A Galpin? The Galpin? I don't even really need some of these items, but I gotta trade them to a whatchamacallit, NPC to get artifact armor from AF1. Hmm. What was I gonna do? Mitsubishi. Where all these fucking people come from? This game's supposed to be dead. Or maybe I'm just on during a time when it's actually populated. Oh, so this is all Japanese time, so what time is it in Japan? What time is it in Japan?
The time in Tokyo, Japan is 2:01 a.m. on Monday.
It's already Monday then, shit. What? Whatever could they be selling? Hmm. I ain't got that. Wait, yes I do. Hmm. Oh, this might be a different one that I'm looking at. I might be tripping. And I've been looking at a different one. I've already used my rank 1 weapon thingy. Because I'm silly. But I did get that Bonanza Pearl, which I didn't know about. I think. Let me go back to my mod house and I want to see my red mage shit that I got that I've been they're on and just kind of look at. 1 second. Just double check them. Sure. So, okay. Let me go back to mod house. It feels like the early days when servers were actually populated. Back in the old days, 2,000 years ago, when 11 first started. Back in my day, this bullshit was fucking hard as fuck. This game really was a nightmare in the beginning. I always talk about it, but without trust, this game be dead, probably. And I don't know why it took Squared so long to kind of give in. But they've had to make a bunch of strategic decisions to keep the game going. And I think they succeeded, ultimately. Because after 14 like failed the first time, all they had was 11 to kind of fall back on until they could fix 14. So it's not like 11 is useless. They can keep fucking making it better. And just listening to people. They got some of the top, I don't even know if you call them top players, because this isn't really a competitive game. But some of the most skilled players to comment on how the game works and how they wish certain things were different. Let me get my red mage for this second. Okay. Do I usually like red mage dancer or red mage then, you know? Or red mage, white mage. I like having dual wield, so um Ninja has shadows. I love having shadows. Dancer has nothing, so I think that Ninja would be much more beneficial. What? I have probably naked. Yep. Let me let me look at something real quick. I might have to pull up a video or something. Hmm. Turn it down a little bit. Are they just fucking? They're not even using Ninja. Are they just subbing Black Mage? Can you just spam fucking spells and win? Not quite 50% yet, but it's going down. I wish I didn't suck so much. Shield. Hmm. Bind, sleep, and they're using the subbing white mage. Hmm. Hmm. Strategy is very basic and lifelong. As Red Mage, I show you how to play the beast and the M60 up in arms. The farm, the much desired Kraken Club. Good luck and encouragement with the farm. The video was shot with Transfusion Studio. No, seal, no chain spell. No, they're subbing Black Mage. They throw up Composure at the beginning. Then refresh. Protect 3. Jail 3. Stone Skin. Blink. Water Veil. Aqua Veil, I mean. Linux. Shock Spikes. And hey. Hmm. And they're using which staff is that? Is that the White Mage staff? So Gravity, Blizzard 2, Thunder 2, Blizzard, Thunder, Blizzard. They're just going back and forth between Blizzard and Thunder, I think. Sleeping. Sleep 1 works pretty good. And they just start all over. So they're only using Thunder and Blizzard. That's good to know. Ugh. Okay. Just gonna add another one real quick. Avataru doing it. Did they even show the fucking equipment? Okay, let me maximize it real quick. Oh my lord. Yeah, some good shit. Stuff I didn't even know you could get at 60. How? How are they wearing some of this shit? Huh? Alright, I'm back. They're not. How are they using all this shit? Have they changed the rules of this game? Am I not aware of something? Because they're using gear that's 99. It looked like. Did they change how BCNMs work? Hold up. What the fuck? They trade the moon orb. No, that's a level 51 staff. My bad. I'm tripping. No, but that's a level 99 item. They're Pentalthium. How they wearing level 99 shit? They have a bunch of shit that's 99. I don't understand. And they have over 100,000 fucking gil. Over 1,000 million. Council poor. Shit. I don't understand. Hold up. I'm just gonna read it real quick. Unless they're like in a private server or some shit. I have no idea how those. I'm looking at one on Reddit, and this person Looks like they're using Puppet Master. I don't fucking understand. Hold up. Let me go to Wikipedia real quick. Phase used to seem like special attacks inspectable by gravity, but blah, blah. I found this to be false, with decent investigator. Officially called Aura Battles, Burning Circle Notorious Monster events are a special kind of dumb shit that is destroying my life. Wait, that's not what it says. Events are a special type of arena battle in which adventurers fight a specific mob or group of mobs. They are great ways to have fun and earn powerful items in the world of Vanadil. These events are accessed by trading specific orb to the entrance of the Burning Circle. These orbs can be obtained by trading Beastman seals, kindred seals, blah 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 blah. Only one person needs an orb to enter the battle. Alter egos cannot be summoned. Food does not wear off upon entering. In the event of KO, all TP accumulated is reset to 0 within a BCNM. Additionally, in the event of a party wipe, the party sucks. Up in arms. Where is it? Okay, it's a level 60 cap. I don't understand how that person was wearing 99 armor. That's what's tripping me right now. I don't know if they're on a private server, maybe. It didn't really specify. Uncapped BCNMs aren't even can't even do up in arms. What the fuck? Let me go to Blue Garter, see if they're any more helpful. Not that I'm gonna do this BCNM, I'm just trying to fucking figure out why people can wear 99 armor in it when you're supposed to be level capped. Oh my lord, I'm not finding any answers. Will someone give me a clue? Please. Hold on, I'm just maximizing it for a second. This isn't really helping. I wish people would like talk about how they fucking beat this shit. There's one for Scholar, but I don't have any fucking Scholars. Look at a Beastmaster now. Which I have at 60. And I think I tried one time and I lost. Dude. Do your items sync down with you? Is that what I'm trying to understand? Because I see this person having 75 gear. I don't know if I've just not understand BC&Ms this entire time. I thought you had to have like level 60 equipment or under. But this person has like 99. Well, they have like a 60 pet item. But like the rest of their gear is 99. With some fucking awesome stats. And I'm trying to use like shit that you get in like a fucking store that you buy for like 10 gil. I don't know. I might go test it out real quick. Just see, I guess. But I'll BRB real quick. I just have to bio break real fast. I'm gonna go to a commercial.
White Ranger, activate Saba, the talking saber, and follow his instructions.
Thunderbolt power, now!
Now you're ready to fight. And sound the call to battle. And now, really grab the power. The power cannon. Its 5 Powerball ammunition load is harmless to humans, but not to evil space aliens. Add even more power with the Power Gun Sword. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Bandai. Grab the power.
And Mr. Freeze aims to chill Batman next, but not Anti-Freeze Batman. Mr. Freeze and his Ice Zapper are out of control, but Batman's ready.
Freeze, Batman!
Take this, hot shot!
Ah!
Only Batman's Ice Hammer vehicle is tough enough to drill through this ice storm.
Chill out, Mr. Freeze!
Now the best is hotter than ever. Batman! Vehicle and figures each sold separately. The hearts of men, the Shadow knows.
The evil Khan calls on his fiendish friend Dr. Makino, but Ninja Shadow with blazing eyes has the power to stop them. Makino and Khan take off. Ninja Shadow chases them in his Mirage, each sold separately. Will they get away? Who knows? The Shadow knows. Now you can get a free Shadow Agent's ring.
It changes.
Just like in the movie. Send in 2 proofs of purchase from any Shadow toys for your free Shadow hologram ring.
Wow.
The Shadow knows.
Now you can be as clever as Kevin with Tiger's new Talkboy tape recorder.
Stop drooling on me. Stop drooling on me.
It even has speed control.
Hi, kids. We're home early.
Hi, kids. We're home early.
Tiger's new Talkboy tape recorder comes with audio cassette. Now have more Home Alone fun with Tiger's new Home Alone 2 handheld game.
Savage Hunter, Aliens vs. Predator, with awesome new Predators. Clan Leader attacks with whipping dreadlocks. And Stalker, glowing in the dark, fires his spear. Suddenly, flipping up his attack spikes, the wild boar alien charges. And the ferocious mother alien in her monstrous hide traps Spiketail, then covers him in ooze.
Ooze 'em.
Who will survive? Aliens vs. Predator. Queen High playset comes with mother alien figure and ooze. Other figures sold separately. It's a countdown to the ultimate showdown, and Guile is going wild, diving into adventure, stalking the shadows, blasting like a blizzard, his punching sonic boom.
Spells on Bison's doom!
Now comes Street Fighter, figures sold separately.
Extreme Hero G.I. Joe! The all-new G.I. Joe Extreme! Bigger, bolder, and battle-ready! Lieutenant Stone leads the all-new Joes with Ultra Slam firepower against the evil Iron Claw and his Scar forces. Scar's Bone Splitter tank is brutal, but the 2-in-1 Sand Striker strikes back with long-distance Scar resistance.
Alright, I'm back. Why don't I watch it? Why figure out what the fuck I'm doing? Let me finish this thing that Adam released. YMS.
None of the other shit that I'm trying to do, work-wise, can happen unless I get my mental and physical health in order. And once again, it is improving and we're past the worst of it. So, we've got things on the way. I apologize that things are not at the level of frequency or standard that they were before. I've also, like, you know, there's some projects that, like, I've gotten editors to work on that, like, you know, me being unable to, like, record new content for a good amount of time, I was like, okay, can you work on this? And basically, so, yeah, there's a video, Alex and I talked about a talking cat and a talking pony on the Sardonicast. I was like, that would be fun with, like, film clips, right? So we could do something similar to the YMS and IHE rant about Trap, and we did one about Saw X, so those are on the channel. So we got another one of those coming for Talking Cat and Talking Pony. And that one's been waiting for me to look over for like a month or two, but I felt like self-conscious about the fact that, like, you know, there's been such a dry spell of content. I'm like, is this what I want to release, like, for the first thing in a while? You know, just kind of like dreading, you know, people that are wanting like good quality content, looking at that and being like, isn't that just repurposed audio from the podcast? And it's like, yes, it is. But that's kind of what we're we're forced to work with right now. Also, I feel like it does work, you know, there's more humor when you're able to show film clips with it too. So it does fulfill a different purpose. So I will be posting that. I'll probably post the Oscars thing first, but that is still being finished up, and I still need to look over it. There will be a video for SIF. Oh yeah, I should also mention, you know, because people are probably going to suggest this, I've checked my house for carbon monoxide leaks. So, like, I've gotten, like, an inspection done. if I'm feeling worse at home, like that would be something to look into. So I did look into that. It wouldn't appear as though there's any like mold issue or anything. As I'm, doing all these fucking doctor's appointments and getting all these requisitions and blood tests and all this shit done, I decided to re-examine my tendinitis because that is something that is still an issue. My tendinopathy, which obviously prevents me from editing as much as I'd like to, and also very frustrating recently. It prevents me from being able to like play music for very long. One of my sources of like therapy, like my largest source of therapy, has been just processing things by writing music, right? And so not having that outlet has been very tough. So I went to a specialist for tendinopathy. I got a MRI and an X-ray done, and I will be getting PRP injections on my right arm, which is less invasive than surgery. And I was actually recommended by the specialist not to do surgery, and many other people. So a lot of people experience, like a lot of people, it just doesn't make things better. The specialist said that like the damage on my tendon is similar to that of what you would expect out of a good result post-surgery. So he's saying that like surgery wouldn't really be like a viable option. And so with these PRP injections that I'm getting done on my arm at the end of May, I'm told that things get worse before they get better. So I'm going to be unable to use my arm for a good few weeks at least, once I get the PRP injections. Basically, you have to like stab it and re-injure it to like promote the healing or something. I don't really understand, but that's what I'm told, is that like I'm basically hurting myself to get better. So hopefully that works. That would be a fucking godsend if my tendinitis improves, because not only will I be able to do more editing on my end, but I'll be able to like play music, and have like a proper emotional therapeutic outlet, which I, clearly need right now. And it would be nice to be able to like record some new stuff, even if it's like an EP. Maybe not a full album. It would be nice to get some shit out, So yeah, expect that. Expect that I won't be able to do much with my arm at all for June, I guess. Yeah, it sucks that this has happened. It sucks that, I'm losing subscribers, but I accept that, Maybe I'll go under 1 million. Doesn't really fucking matter. It's kind of out of my control. I know that people want good, consistent content and, high-effort videos, and I want to get back to making them. And I've now organized things with, like, a new plan with existing editors that I've talked to have, like, a good way of doing things that can be sustainable and still work. And yeah, so I'm gonna be trying my best from this point on. My plan is to, still maybe do some quickie in theater content, but that definitely won't be the focus. I want to get back to the long form passion projects, or dunking on funny things with jokes, things with rants. I want to finish my 2016 list. I want to finish my Synecdoche video. I want to finish Lion King. And then there's a whole bunch of other projects that I want to get done as well. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're not quite at the end of this. Perhaps things are never going to be back to 100%. But I feel very strongly that things are going to be sustainable again in the next couple months. And I've desperately needed to make these changes because I've been eating through my savings with all this medical shit. And I know, living in Canada, thankfully most of this is covered, but a lot of it isn't. A lot of the medication, like the medications themselves I'm paying for. And I've been on a lot of medications. Yeah, a lot of these things I've had to pay out of pocket for just to not be on the wait list for like 6 months. The gaming channel is going to be different. The editor that has been doing the gaming channel for the past year and just basically managing it by themselves, they're moving on and focusing on their own stuff. So I've got a couple other editors that are going to make content for the gaming channel as well. And then I should remind people who might not be familiar. At this point, I don't like spend any time on the managing or editing of the gaming channel. I just literally spend some hours, like, I don't know, 5 hours a week now on average playing video games. I used to do like 10-hour streams every Sunday, but now I'm lucky if I don't feel exhausted after 5. So yeah, sorry anybody that watches the stream. I know we used to have like a really consistent thing going, but I know it's been difficult. It's been really difficult, and I like playing video games. I like doing that, but it's been difficult. So I plan to have some sort of a consistent streaming schedule in the future. Just right now there is not one. I should also mention, sometimes I get comments, people being like, why do you, they'll look at the highlights channel, the YMS highlights channel, and they'll be like, you spend so much time streaming, that's why you're not working on the other stuff. I believe that all of the dates for when those streams are posted at the beginning of each of those videos. So do yourself a favor if you have that opinion and just go through each of those. Go through each of those and just check the dates. Because basically what I do for the highlights channel is I'll do like 2 hours a month maybe. Like where I just do like one stream, and the purpose of that stream is to like do a trailer reaction stream, and I just go through all of them. Like I have a list of them on my phone. I'm just like, okay, I have energy today. I'm just gonna watch trailers for a couple hours, and then that's all, that's content for a month.
Oh wow, I have a lot of those. I didn't realize it.
Streamers have it easy. Like the input to output is 1-to-1. The amount of time you spend recording is the amount of time you get content-wise, whereas like edited content is just so much more time-consuming, right? Watching the movie, writing, recording, editing, like all of those are different processes. Let me know in the comments, because maybe in this weird transitionary period, if it's like too much in terms of like a time commitment to be doing like quickie theater things, let me know if it would make sense to just do like vlog style reviews for like more recent films. And I mean, like, I'm not checking out every recent film right now. Like, I'm trying not to fill up all of my time with doing that as well. So I'm not watching as many new movies in theaters outside of like film festival stuff right now. But I have been doing streams on this YMS channel, like quickie catch-up streams every so often. I haven't done one in a while, so I guess I'd have a lot to talk about if I did another one. But yeah, I guess that's not a bad idea for to try and like fill in the gaps. Or yeah, maybe I'll post like a vlog style quickie, or a few of them, if I see a recent movie and it makes sense to like try and jump on it for the algorithm, because people, tend to click on new movie that everybody saw sort of thing. So if it happens to be one that I'm also seeing, then that makes sense. Yeah, there's I guess once again I'll remind any YouTube peers that I have some editors that have worked on the channel for a while that are now looking for extra work just because of all this shit. Huge domino effect of having to restructure and reorganize and everything I'm doing. I'm just gonna skim through my notes and see if there's anything that I didn't mention that I should have. I'm sure there's a bunch. Yeah. I hate doing sponsorship shit. I've done it like a few times. I just don't like it. I think I'll still maybe do the Audible one every once in a while. Because, like, I actually use the app, But just, like, I don't know. audibletrial.com/YMS. You can listen to audiobooks. There you go. So things have been kind of shit. Things have been kind of tough, but I'm doing a lot better than I was a few months ago. Scrolling. I've got a lot of notes about my health shit. And sorry for this weird noise. Maybe I'll sing a little song. Or maybe not. I think that's it. Yeah, a lot of my free time has been eaten up by like figuring all this shit out and trying different things, and it seems like I'm still doing that, but I feel like I have more things that work and more things that help. So yeah, that's what things have been like. Oh yeah, here's a note. I'm considering even looking into if maybe I got like long COVID or something. Because apparently there's such a thing as long COVID gut dysbiosis. And there's also such a thing as long COVID, like extreme fatigue. Like chronic fatigue from long COVID. Like, I wonder, No fucking idea. Oh yeah, I tried intermittent fasting. I tried that.
No.
Yeah. Thank you for your patience.
That'll just make you angrier. At least it makes me angry when I do that. When I did that.
And most of that 15 years, I've worked at like 150%. So, with this past year working at 50%, I think it like evens out a little. I think it's fine. I should be able to have like some sort of like a period where I can be in a crisis and hopefully not lose everything. It sucks because I know that when you're not posting frequently, it doesn't go out to people's sub boxes, and then it's difficult to get people back. So I might be, it might be a long journey trying to, like, build the channel up again, you know? But I accept it, and obviously, you know, having, even if I lose a bunch of subscribers, starting fresh with 900,000 subscribers or whatever, you know, it's better than starting from zero, so, wow, look at all these notes. I'm just trying to figure out what's even worth saying anymore. Ramble, 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 I'm just making noises. Yep. Oh, yeah, somebody's, I watched Mufasa because, on Patreon, people voted for me to watch it even though I didn't want to watch it yet. And it was kind of funny. I did a stream. So I'm thinking that will be edited into a YMS Watches thing. I would like to do a full review of it, but I don't want to do a full review of it until, obviously, Lion King Part 2 is done. So don't be surprised if you see that. I don't want to see people going like, wow, does this mean Lion King Part 2 is not happening? Even though I know that even with this fucking video, people are going to say that, but whatever. Anyway, you know, now you know if you care to know. Here's another note. My short-term memory was fucking decimated. Like, I have one of the best memories of anybody I know, but I would just be constantly fucking forgetting things. Like, I wasn't...
How am I subbing Blue Mage?
Basically, my mental state during these periods has been like I'm drunk or high, except without feeling good. Like I'm impaired without any of the positive effects. So I would just lose things and forget things and, like, miss appointments and not remember conversations and, like, yeah, shit's been fucking scary, honestly, but the ADHD meds are helping. I just gotta figure out how to find the right one and not have high blood pressure now. Oh yeah, here's another thing that was fucking me up. So with all of this, all these gut and mental issues came, like, my immune system being fucked. So, like, I was on top of all that, I was getting, like, a cold every 2 weeks. That seems to be improved now. I mean, I was literally sick, like, a week ago, but I think before that point it had been at least 3 weeks. So we're improving. Like, I seem to have, like, a bit more of an immune system now. But holy fuck. That was so frustrating, like, getting sick, like a cold sick on top of gut sick and mental sick. Getting cold sick on top of that, and then getting another cold, like, 2 weeks later. Repeat. You know? That fucking sucked. So I guess I'll update again if things get worse. Not expecting them to. I'm looking for a therapist.
Same. One who doesn't piss me off or denies me medication.
Yeah, sometimes, like, I still get intestinal pain when I wake up. But things are getting better. Things are getting better. The fact that I'm able to, like, record this at all is proof that I'm getting better, so. Fuck, I wish I had dated some of these notes, because some of those have changed. And I was, whatever. Scrolling. Yeah, I have these, like, dents in my fingernails. And I've talked to a doctor about that. I should probably call them back. See if they can figure out what the fuck that was about. Like, does that mean, like, I was deficient in something during that time? I've been tested for everything, so. Oh yeah, I'll be selling some old Blu-rays. I do that every few years. I'll be doing that hopefully in the summer. Keep your eye out for that. I'll post something about it somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna be signing them, and that's gonna be difficult while my arm is useless. So we'll see how July looks. I don't know. All right, this video is over an hour, so thank you so much for your patience. Things are getting better. Things are getting way better. I'm still figuring things out, but we're past the worst of it. And that's basically what I've been up to. It's just a gigantic, not fun time. Yeah, so thank you for your support. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Oh yeah, also I mentioned the monthly rambles on various topics. You get a better deal if you do it through Patreon. Because I have a legacy Patreon account. I created it like way back when, so they take like not much of a cut. Whereas YouTube takes more of a cut, so I charge more on YouTube for the monthly rambles than on Patreon. So you pay less on Patreon, but I still make more money on Patreon, even though you're paying less. Just less goes to YouTube, basically. Yeah, there's like, how many of these exist right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 monthly rambles. Some of them are hours. That's a lot of content. You should check it out. Thanks, everybody. Sorry for all my shit, but it is what it is. Synecdoche. Bye-bye. Love you all. Thank you.
Let me switch to something else. Or watch or listen to something. GD on your pants. Oh, Lord. Bye-bye, Adam. I love you. I hope you don't hate me.
Of divine light, her radiant
radiance soothed even the darkest of souls. With new purpose, she traversed the realms in search of evil, pacifying the wicked. Her mission came full circle when at last she purified the sorcerer who would have her slain, Quan Chi.
Now let's talk about Baraka. For most of the Mortal Kombat series, Baraka has been the muscle, brutal, loyal, and expandable. A savage enforcer for tyrants like Shao Kahn, Shinnok, and Onaga. He spent years being used and discarded, always fighting for others, never truly for himself. But Armageddon flips the script. In his ending, Baraka finally breaks free of the chains that have bound him. After absorbing Blaze's power, he refuses to serve anyone ever again. He summons his former masters, Shao Kahn and Onaga, and gives them an ultimatum: submit or die. When they refuse, he doesn't hesitate. His blades grow to monstrous lengths, piercing their hearts before he casts their bodies from the pyramids like trash. It's a brutal symbolic moment. Baraka is done being a pawn. He's the one calling the shots now. And he wastes no time establishing his reign. He turns to Mileena and offers her a place at his side as queen. It's not just about power, it's about legacy. Baraka is no longer the underlying. He's the conqueror, the warlord, the ruler. His ending captures a full character arc, from expandable foot soldier to self-made overlord. It's a violent realization of his long-standing ambition for respect and control. And in the context of a game meant to cap off the saga, it gives Baraka a definitive, powerful conclusion, not as a monster under someone's boot, but as a ruler standing on his own.
With the power of Blaze within him, Baraka would never again serve another. Summoning Shao Kahn and Onaga before him atop the pyramid, he gave them a choice: submit to Lord Baraka or die. They responded by attacking the Tarkatan. In a flash, Baraka's blades grew to twice their normal length and pierced his former masters through their hearts. Flinging their bodies down the side of the pyramid, Baraka turned his attention to a more important matter: who would be his queen? He gave Mileena a choice. She chose wisely.
Now we come to Blaze, arguably the most evolved and misunderstood character in the entire Mortal Kombat series. Originally created to monitor the realms and act as a safeguard against threats like the Dragon King Onaga, Blaze was meant to be a force of balance, but Armageddon recontextualizes that role with a tragic twist. Somewhere along his millennia-long vigil, Onaga followers enslaved him using dark magic, corrupting his purpose and binding him to guard the Dragon Egg, a symbol of Onaga's prophesied return. This wasn't just a detour in his mission, it was a complete hijacking of his identity. Blaze, once a neutral guardian, becomes a ticking time bomb. His existence twisted from protector to destroyer. His fiery golden-like form reflects his duality, a being that once symbolized purification, now radiating chaos. Unlike most characters in the game, Blaze doesn't chase power or redemption. Instead, he's caught in a cycle of manipulation, a cosmic pawn with no agency. His ending is perhaps the darkest of them all. After defeating every challenger on the pyramid, Blade unleashes a cataclysmic wave of energy that begins in Edenia and ripples out, destroying every realm. It's the prophecy of Dahlia come true, but not in the way it was intended. This isn't a victory. It's the tragic result of corrupted programming taken to its final irreversible conclusion. Blaze doesn't win. He fulfills a destiny that was never his to begin with, and in doing so, he becomes a symbol of futility, a being built to preserve balance, whose existence ends up tipping the scales towards annihilation.
During his ages-long quest to monitor the realms, Blaze had been enslaved by Onaga's holy man and forced to guard the great dragon egg. The spell used to control him corrupted his original design. When his final objective atop the pyramid came to pass, he was unstoppable and defeated all who challenged him. As foreseen by the sorceress Delia, Armageddon began in the Edenian crater and spread throughout the realms, shattering reality until there was nothing.
Next up is Bo Rai Cho, the drunken master with far more depth than his comic relief moments suggest. Throughout the series, Bo Rai Cho has been a mentor figure. He trained legends like Liu Kang and Kung Lao, choosing guidance over glory, wisdom over warfare. But in Armageddon, his story reaches the most meaningful point. His ending sees him defeat Blaze and stand before the gods, not with pride, but with hesitation. Even in victory, Bo Rai Cho questions his own worth, unsure if he belongs among the gods. And ironically, that humility, so rare in the Mortal Kombat universe, that earns him divinity. The Elder Gods elevate him, naming him the protector of Outworld. This isn't a reward for conquest, it's a recognition of a life spent uplifting others. While many characters are fueled by revenge, power, or personal salvation, Bo Rai Cho's motivation has always been service. His ascension to godhood is a quiet but powerful statement. In a world of violence and ego, compassion and humility still matter. His ending doesn't just wrap up his arc, it redeems the very idea of goodness in Mortal Kombat, and that makes it one of the most quietly powerful conclusions in Armageddon.
Upon defeating Blaze, Bo Rai Cho was transported to the heavens. He stood before me, a humble warrior unsure of his fate in the presence of a god. I had looked into his soul and found that he was a good man and a powerful warrior. Outworld needed a protector, a task for which Bo Rai Cho had more than proven himself worthy. At my request, the Elder Gods breathed their life force into him, transforming the once humble warrior into a god. Bo Rai Cho had become protector of Outworld.
Now, let's talk about Chameleon, a character who hadn't made a real appearance since Mortal Kombat Trilogy. And by the way, this is Chameleon with a C for this one. In Armageddon, Chameleon goes from obscurity to center stage. As the final battle rages, he uses his camouflage to slip past the chaos, climb the pyramid unnoticed, and defeat Blaze. The result? Immortality, and for the first time, recognition as the true champion of Mortal Kombat. It's a clever twist. Chameleon's long absence wasn't just a writing gap, it becomes part of the narrative. His years in hiding were a strategy, a waiting game while others destroyed themselves chasing power. And when the moment finally comes, he's the one left standing. His ending flips the usual Mortal Kombat formula. Instead of brute force or high profile vendettas, Chameleon succeeds through patience, stealth, and adaptability. It's a rare payoff for a character built around mystery and gives him a defining moment in what was meant to be the saga's finale. For a character who always operated in the background, this ending is a statement. Chameleon doesn't just survive, he wins. And in doing so, he proves that sometimes the one who watches from the shadows is the most dangerous of all.
As the battle raged, Chameleon camouflaged himself and raced to the top of the pyramid unseen. There he defeated Blaze, and the ethereal power overtook him. Immortality was now his. Though he had been ever-present throughout the crises of the realms, from Liu Kang's first victory to the return of the Dragon King, he had remained hidden from sight, waiting for his moment to come. That moment had arrived. From this day forth, the realms will know Chameleon as the true champion of Mortal Kombat.
Now let's talk Cyrax, the tragic weapon of the Lin Kuei. Originally a loyal assassin, Cyrax was forced into the clan's cybernetic initiative and stripped away of his humanity and rebuilt as a machine. But what makes Cyrax stand out is his internal conflict. Over time, he begins to reject his programming, searching for a way to reclaim his soul and break free from the grip of the Lin Kuei. By the time we reach Armageddon, he's no longer just a cybernetic soldier. He's a man chasing redemption. His ending brings that journey full circle. After defeating Blaze, Cyrax is engulfed in elemental energy that tears away his cybernetics and restores his human form. It's not just a physical transformation, it's a spiritual rebirth. Free from the Lin Kuei's control, Cyrax chooses to stand behind Sub-Zero, someone who has struggled with the clan's legacy. Their next move, a full-on rebellion. Together, they take the fight to their former comrades, Smoke and Sector.
Come on, you don't give me a small fucking shield.
Their victory paves the way to
But I can just buy.
and possibly
Yeah.
restore the rest of the cyborgs. For Cyrax, this isn't just closure, it's hope. Hope that was stolen and can be reclaimed now, not just for him, but for everyone caught in the Cyber Initiative's grip.
When he defeated Blaze, elemental powers surged through Cyrax and shattered his cybernetics.
There's plenty of fucking large shields, but I can't get a fucking small shield. Yeah. Let me see if there's any of the auction house.
Men versus machines, Cyrax and Sub-Zero defeated their longtime foes. The cyborgs will be reprogrammed to serve the Lin Kuei once more, until they too can be reverted to their human forms.
Next up is Daru, a character who mostly flew under the radar, but Armageddon gives him a surprising spotlight. Once a disgraced lawman turned mercenary, Daryu's story takes a huge turn when he defeats Blaze and is rewarded with a golden suit of armor, a symbol of strength, legitimacy, and transformation. But his story doesn't end there. When Shao Kahn attacks in a fit of rage, Daryu holds his ground, and in the stunning moment he defeats the Emperor. That victory isn't just personal, it marks a new chapter for Outworld. Under Daryu's rule, the realm is restored to its former glory, not as a battlefield ruled by tyranny, but as a majestic unified kingdom. What makes this ending powerful is how far Daryu's come. For a man fueled by vengeance to a ruler respected by Denia and Earthrealm, his journey completes a full arc. Chaos to order, exile to emperor. In a game built around finality, Daryu's ending gives us something rare. Peace, unity, and the redemption of a forgotten warrior.
The fire of Blaze enveloped Daru and formed around him a golden suit of armor. Enraged, Shao Kahn attacked, but the armor scorched his body with every blow. Daru defeated the Emperor and claimed
Rabbit pie.
himself. Under his rule, Outworld once again became the majestic realm it had been in ages past. Convinced of his good nature, Edenia and Earthrealm forged an alliance with Daru that would ensure peace and stability forever.
I thought that said psychiatrist shield for a second.
Darius is one of those characters that lives in the gray. Coming from Sidu, the Order Realm, he's the face of rebellion, opposing a regime obsessed with law and control. Throughout the series, Darius has always been willing to cross lines, using manipulation, deception, and even violence to shake the system. He's a perfect contrast to Hataru, the enforcer of Sato's laws, a walking clash between revolution and order. In Armageddon, Darius goes all in. After defeating Blaze, he somehow gets his hands on divine relics meant only for Argus' sons Taven and Dagon. With these powerful artifacts, he finally topples Hataru and takes control of Sato.
I forgot how I got this Orvale Road.
A realm reborn under his rule, not one dictated by rigid laws. But it's not all celebration, because those artifacts, they were never his to take. Argus sends Taven and Dagon on a new quest to retrieve what was stolen, making it clear Darius's win isn't secure. It's bold, it's clever, but it's also unstable. That's the tragedy of Darius. His revolution may succeed in a moment, but the future, still uncertain. His story reminds us that power taken without destiny is always under threat.
Upon defeating Blaze, the pyramid shrank and transformed into a golden ring. The ring granted Darius access to my vault, wherein lay the treasure rightfully due my sons Taven and Dagon. The powerful artifacts allowed Darius to finally defeat Hotaru and conquer the realm of order. But the items were meant only for my lineage to wield. I have now sent Taven and Dagon on yet another quest. They must work together to defeat Darius and retrieve what he has stolen.
Draman remains true to his origins as a brutal
Damn.
rage-fueled Oni born from the torment of the
Still,
Nether.
that's fucking long.
Once a human condemned
Oh, that's for
to
Sumner too.
suffering, he was transformed into a grotesque demon. His infamous mask serving as both a source of power and restraint, suppressing his uncontrollable fury to maintain a sliver of rationality. Throughout the series, Draman often acts as an enforcer, usually seen alongside his fellow Oni Moloch, and serving dark masters like Quan Chi. In Armageddon, his arc takes a darker, more tragic turn. The power of Blaze awakens a dormant energy within his mask, not liberating him, but possessing him.
-1.
This surge causes him to grow to 3 times his size, driving him into an unstoppable frenzy. Stripped away of what little self-control he had left, Draman turns on Moloch in a climactic battle between former allies. In slaying his last companion, Draman severs his final tie to loyalty and reason, fully succumbing to a monstrous existence ruled by bloodlust and rage. It's a fittingly grim end for a character whose soul was so long lost to the fires of the Netherrealm.
The energy of Blaze unlocked the life force residing within Draman's mask. Unable to remove it, Draman became possessed by it and grew to 3 times his original size. The power of the mask also fueled the rage within him. Unable to contain his fury, Draman turned on his former ally, Moloch, in an epic battle of demons. Moloch was defeated, but Draman's bloodlust has only just begun.
Ermac has always been one of the franchise's most enigmatic characters, a fusion of souls bound by sorcery created to serve as Shao Kahn's obedient warrior. From the beginning, he was not one, but many, a swirling collective of fallen
Rabbit Pie's pretty good, shit.
contributing to a single body and voice. Over time, however, Ermac developed self-awareness, evolving from a hollow
Pepperoni
into a being capable of thought, conflict, and
I do have some pepperoni bread.
in Armageddon, Ermac's journey reaches a profound conclusion. Upon defeating Blaze, the sheer energy splinters his unified form, separating him into the countless individual souls that once composed him. These souls are granted new bodies, but remain physically linked, each now autonomous yet still bound by a shared consciousness. This transformation is both literal and symbolic. For years, Ermac grappled with the inner conflict of competing voices and memories. Now each of those voices is given a form, but the unity they once forged remains. As an army with one mind, Ermac becomes the ultimate embodiment of cooperation and purpose, a liberated collective no longer trapped with one shell. It's a resolution that honors both his origins and his evolution.
The energy of Blaze shattered Ermac, separating him
There's lots of stuff. Yeah. I don't know what about spicy cracker.
each with his own physical form. The Ermacs are linked psychically and act according to their collective consciousness. No longer a mere fusion of warrior souls, Ermac has become an army.
Frost began her journey as Sub-Zero's most promising apprentice, gifted with powerful pyromancer abilities. But plagued by arrogance and ambition, her story has always been driven by one goal: to surpass her mentor, even if it meant betraying him. From her earliest appearances, she's been impulsive, reckless, and obsessed with claiming the Dragon Medallion. In Armageddon, Frost finally achieves her long-sought victory. After defeating Blaze, she takes the Dragon Medallion from Sub-Zero and unlocks ice powers that far exceed his own. But surpassing him isn't enough. Frost journeys to Outworld, where she uncovers the tomb of her Chiromancer ancestors. In a chilling act of dominance, she fuses their souls into the bodies of current Lin Kuei members, creating an army of Chiromancers loyal only to her. With this force, she wages war across the realms, turning each into a frozen wasteland. Her transformation from rebellious student to tyrannical conqueror is complete, Rather than redemption or balance, Frost chooses absolute power. Her legacy, marked by isolation, subjugation, and devastation. It's a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition where victory comes at the cost of humanity.
Her strength increased. Frost once again took the Dragon Medallion from Sub-Zero and enhanced her freezing power far beyond her former mentors. Traveling to Outworld, she located the tomb of her ancestors, the Cryomancers, and planted their souls in the bodies of the current Lin Kuei.
My girl Frost.
Cryomancers conquered the realms, leaving each of them a frozen wasteland.
Fusion's arc in Armageddon marks the fulfillment of his journey.
Mrs. Waldy, how are you
Is
today?
a symbol of hope and rebirth. Introduced as the god of wind in mythologies and protector of Earthrealm in Mortal Kombat 4, Fujin often stood in Raiden's shadow, wise, steadfast, and optimistic, but rarely central to the conflict. Defined by his belief in the potential for good, Fujin guided heroes and fought to preserve peace across the realms. After defeating Blaze, Fujin ascends to godhood in the truest sense. The power he inherits transforms him into a living storm of justice, and he uses this might not for conquest.
I'm just kind of curious about my
Forged from the ashes of worlds devastated by Shao Kahn's tyranny. It's an act of both restoration and
spells I've got.
a home for the forces of light and a beacon for survivors of chaos. This new realm will Kung Lao as its
I probably won't get a full set of merits, but we'll see.
Fusion is
Kind
no
of curious.
longer a background guardian. He becomes the architect of resistance. The
Fusion looks cool
uprising
in the old
from
game.
darkness. His
He still looks cool,
evolution
but I think he's always just looked really cool.
sovereign of light embodies the hope that even in ruin, something new and better can be born.
The energy of Blaze coursed through Fujin. It transformed the Wind God into a storm of justice. His power increased exponentially. He created a new realm from the shattered remnants of worlds that had fallen victim to Shao Kahn's aggression. From there, the forces of light will stage their operations.
Oh, I'm full. Shit.
Now as Fujin's commanding general.
Goro's story is the ultimate tale of vindication for himself and the Shogun race. First introduced as a terrifying champion of Mortal Kombat, Goro served Outworld emperors with unmatched strength and loyalty. Yet his service was met with manipulation and marginalization. His people often treated as expendable pawns in the ambitions of sorcerers and tyrants. In Armageddon, Goro finally breaks that cycle. After defeating Blaze, he ascends to godhood, eclipsing the very overlords who once commanded him. This divine empowerment brings not just personal triumph, but a reckoning. When the forces of darkness, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Shao Kahn, and Onaga, seek to strip him of his newfound power, Goro defies them with ferocity. Rallying an army of Shogun warriors, he no longer a servant. Goro becomes a ruler, no longer dismissed. The Shogun now reign. Their ancient war cry signals not just revenge, but resurgence. Goro's ending is more than just a victory. It's a revolution and the birth of a new outworld led by those once cast aside.
Having defeated Blaze, Goro had attained the power of a god. But to the forces of darkness, this power was not meant for a mere Shogun to wield. Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Shao Kahn, and Onaga all had anticipated victory, only to have it stolen from them. The four surrounded Goro in a vain attempt to wrest the power from him. Goro laughed, raised his arms, and let forth an ancient Shogun battle cry. From out of nowhere, an army of Shogun warriors stormed the pyramid and slaughtered the four attackers. The Shogun race will rule Outworld forever.
Havoc's conclusion is chaos incarnate. As the cleric of chaos in the volatile chaos realm, Havoc has always stood apart, unconcerned with power or justice, seeking only to unravel the fabric of order. His actions have never been about domination or revenge, but disruption for its own sake. In Armageddon, Havoc realizes he is the ultimate weapon. With Blaze defeated and the godlike power absorbed, he becomes the embodiment of chaos. His very presence warps reality, twisting the realms into ever-changing, grotesque parodies of what once was. Laws of physics, identity, and time collapse. In this new existence, structure and reason are obliterated, replaced by endless, unrelenting flux. Where others find redemption or forge new legacies, Havoc achieves annihilation, not of life, but of meaning. No heroes, no villains, no future, just chaos, eternally. His victory isn't a chapter, it's the last page of the book torn out and set ablaze.
Infused with the power of Blaze, the cleric of chaos, Havoc, became chaos incarnate. His aura corrupted the stability of the realms, causing them to rip, tear, and reshape in growth.
Damn, I'm already using my band.
Soon, nothing remains that resembled the former unity. Havoc's dream had been realized. Ultimate chaos had been achieved.
Hotaru embodies unwavering devotion to law, structure, and absolute order. To him, conformity is virtue, and deviation is a threat to be extinguished. Throughout the series, this rigid worldview has often placed him in a morally gray territory, where justice becomes absolute and peace is enforced through suppression. In Armageddon, Hotaru's arc reaches its most extreme conclusion. After defeating Blaze, he transcends the mortal form, becoming a being of pure order. His presence alone compels submission or transformation. His ascension is not merely a gain in power, but the full realization of his ideology, a universe stripped of chaos where dissent and individuality are replaced by harmony and control. The most symbolic moment arrives in his confrontation with Havoc. Rather than destroy his enemy, Hotaru forcibly transforms the cleric of chaos into his second in command. This act isn't just victory, it's conversion. Havoc, once the embodiment of this order, now a servant of the very structure he sought to destroy. Hotaru's freedom is both a triumph and a warning, illustrating how the pursuit of total order can become its own form of tyranny.
The power of Blaze transformed Hotaru into a being of pure order. All would bow before him or be transformed by his gaze. Yet there was one whom Hotaru would see pay for his crimes against conformity. The cleric of chaos, Havoc. The light of Hotaru poured into Havoc's mind and transformed him into an agent of order. Hotaru's second in command.
Suhao's conclusion is firmly fitting for one of Mortal Kombat's most disliked and underdeveloped villains. Introduced as a Red Dragon enforcer and double agent, his story has always revolved around betrayal and obedience rather than contrition or theft. Enhanced with the cybernetic heart granting immense power, Suhao remains a blunt instrument, useful but never truly significant. In Armageddon, his arc ends not in glory, but in utter futility. He doesn't defeat Blaze. Instead, he's caught in the shockwaves of Blaze's destruction and dies instantly. His death is almost incidental, a final reminder of his status as a pawn in a game far bigger than him. Reborn in the Netherrealm, he becomes a demon of emptiness and leads an Oni horde to overthrow Shinnok. But it's a hollow victory. Power
Yay.
not through character growth, but through
I'll be right back. I'm gonna just bio break real quick.
becomes a symbol of what he
I'll let this keep playing. I'm just gonna mute my mic. I'll be right back.
Purpose, ruling over ruin. His ending is not a redemption, but a reflection of his own narrative irrelevance.
Killed in the shockwave of Blaze's violent death, Su Hao's corrupt soul descended into the Netherrealm. As his soul began to regain a physical body, Su Hao became his true self, a demon of emptiness and desolation. Leading an Oni horde, he defeated Shinnok and his minions. He now sits upon the throne of the Netherrealm.
Jade's story is a culmination of her transformation from loyal assassin to selfless hero. Originally the enforcer for Shao Kahn and loyal friend to Katana, her arc has been one of conscience over command, choosing to side with Edenia and resist tyranny. Jade evolves into a fierce defender of justice, defined by loyalty, clarity, and conviction. In Armageddon, this evolution reaches its apex. After absorbing Blaze's power, Jade is asked to act on her deepest desire. Channeling divine energy, she unleashes a sonic cry that tears open the pyramid, creating a vortex that seals away the forces of darkness for eternity. This act doesn't just defeat evil, it protects the realms and solidifies her as a savior. The pyramid becomes a monument not only to her sacrifice but to her legacy. Once a supporting player in other stories, Jade now stands as a central figure whose courage reshapes destiny. Her ending is the ultimate affirmation of her growth and a warrior who chose righteousness over power, and in doing so, earned both.
Defeated, Blaze transferred godlike power to Jade and instructed her to make true that which she most desired. As if controlled by some divine force, she let out a tremendous shriek that split open the pyramid. As she inhaled, the forces of darkness were sucked inside the ancient structure. It then resealed itself, trapping them there for eternity. Jade was celebrated as a hero, and the pyramid stood as a reminder to those who would threaten Edenia.
Now let's turn our attention to Jarek. Introduced in Mortal Kombat 4 as a member of the Black Dragon clan, Jarek has always been a ruthless, self-serving fighter, lacking the nuance or conflicted morality of other anti-heroes in the series. In his Armageddon ending, this brutality is no longer restrained. It becomes absolute. Empowered by Blaze, Jarek transforms into an avatar of death, driven not by ambition or ideology, but the pure ecstasy of annihilation. Sealing off the crater, he unleashes a blood-soaked rampage, executing fatality after fatality on every combatant present. Sub-Zero's spine, Kano's still beating heart, and the dismembered remains of his rivals litter the battlefield in a grotesque display of carnage. Jarek, laughing maniacally, stands alone, not as a ruler or savior, but as the last thing standing in a world torn apart by his own hands. His ending isn't about power or conquest. It's the unfiltered realization of his violent nature. With no higher purpose or redemption in sight, Jarek becomes something mythic, the embodiment of chaos. Merciless and unstoppable, his legacy is not one of leadership or legacy, but of pure, unrelenting death.
Blaze drew chi from all the combatants and funneled it into Jarek. He suddenly felt as if death itself were guiding his actions. Laughing maniacally, he sealed off the crater and unleashed a storm of fatalities upon his fellow warriors. None could escape the maelstrom of deadly energy. When at last the tempest abated, Sub-Zero's spine lay quivering next to Kano's still beating heart. An armless Jax knelt beside the two halves of Kung Lao's body. Jarek had finished them all.
Jax's story takes a dark and unexpected turn at Armageddon, challenging everything the character has ever represented. Long seen as a pillar of strength, integrity, and leadership within Earthrealm Special Forces, Jax is defined by his unwavering commitment to justice and the balance he maintained between a man and machine. But that balance shatters when he defeats Blaze. The surge of power causes his cybernetics to expand, overtaking his body and turning him into a full-fledged cyborg. With this transformation comes a harrowing discovery. A hidden neural chip implanted by Sector that had been influencing his actions for years. Enraged by this violation of his autonomy, Jax hunts down Sector, destroys him, and seizes control of his clan. Now their leader, Jack finds himself on uncertain ground, estranged from the special forces and perhaps of his own humility. The ending leaves us with a character caught between identities, once a symbol of resilience and moral clarity, now something colder, harder, and less certain. Jax's arc raises profound questions about identity, control, and the cost of technological dependence. His new power gives him dominance, but also detachment. He has taken control of his destiny, or has he simply traded one form of programming for another?
When Jax absorbed the power of Blaze, the cybernetics in his arms grew and permeated his entire body. He was transformed into a full cyborg. He became aware of a controlling neural chip that had been implanted in his brain by Sector. Enraged, Jax defeated Sector and claimed leadership of the cyborg ninja clan, the Dakunin. It is unknown if he will ever return to the Special Forces.
Johnny Cage's journey is one of the most remarkable evolutions in the Mortal Kombat universe. A transformation from arrogant showman to enlightened warrior. Introduced as a brash Hollywood star seeking to prove his martial arts credentials and boost his fame, Johnny was once seen as comic relief, his motivation shallow and self-centered. But over time, flashes of courage, loyalty, and genuine heroism began to emerge, especially through his sacrifices for Earthrealm and his relationship with Sonya Blade and their allies. In his Armageddon ending, this evolution reaches its culmination. After defeating Blaze, Johnny gains divine power, but rather than indulge in celebrity or conquest, he chooses introspection, seeking guidance from Shaolin monks. Johnny renounces his materialism and embraces a spiritual path, dedicating himself to enlightenment and inner peace. This is not a power fantasy, it's a redemption story. Johnny's ending is powerful because it reframes what strength truly means. No longer defined by flash or ego, he becomes a symbol of self-awareness, humility, and personal growth. He doesn't just become more powerful, he becomes better. In a world where violence often defines victory, Johnny Cage shows that the greatest triumph can be the courage to change.
Johnny Cage defeated Blaze, and the power of the gods rushed through him. He gained superior strength.
Okay, I'm back.
But more important, a new insight into his existence.
Let me make some macros real quick.
He renounced his superficial former life and became enlightened.
Cabal's character arc is a compelling exploration of identity, loyalty, and vengeance. Introduced in Mortal Kombat 3 as a reformed Black Dragon member turned vigilante, his story has always been shaped by trauma and reinvention. Over the years, Cabal has oscillated between roles, at times a resistance hero, other times a ruthless Black Dragon enforcer, constantly torn between his quest for justice and the darkened impulses bred of his past. In his Armageddon ending, Cabal's inner conflict reaches its most unforgiving resolution. Empowered by Blaze, his hook swords ignite into fiery blades, weaponizing his thrust for revenge. The focus of his wrath becomes Mavado, the leader of the rival Red Dragon clan, an enemy who represents not just a personal vendetta, but a clashing ideology. Their final confrontation atop the pyramid is more than a duel. It's a symbolic war between two criminal legacies. Mavado, unable to face defeat, ends his own life. Cabal, in a grisly display of triumph, raises Mavado's severed head, declaring the Black Dragon's supremacy. Rather than seek redemption or forge a new identity, Cabal doubles down on his roots. His ending represents a full circle return to the violent anarchic creed of the Black Dragon. His transformation into a figure of vengeance rather than justice suggests that, despite these moments of heroism, Cabal is ultimately a product of the chaos he once tried to escape.
The heat of Blaze wrapped itself around Cabal's hook swords and transformed them into fiery blades of vengeance. Crossing them above his head, Cabal challenged Mavado atop the pyramid, seeking to end their rivalry once and for all. In an epic hook sword battle, Mavado Movado could not withstand the fury of Cabal and his enhanced weapons. Never willing to admit defeat, Movado took his own life by performing harakiri. Standing atop the pyramid, Cabal raised Movado's severed head high so all would know of the Black Dragon clan's superiority.
Kai's journey is one of spiritual discovery, inner peace, and ultimately cosmic revelation. Introduced in Mortal Kombat 4 as a disciplined and principled monk trained alongside Liu Kang, Kai has consistently stood apart from his introspective nature and philosophical mindset. Unlike many warriors driven by bloodlust or revenge, Kai seeks understanding of himself, the realms, and a greater cosmic balance. In his Armageddon ending, Kai's pursuit of truth reaches its ultimate expression. Upon defeating Blaze, he becomes psychically linked to the One Being, the primordial force from which all realms were born. This connection grants him cosmic awareness, allowing him to witness the tapestry of reality, past, present, and the very essence of dreams that shape existence. In a meditative trance, Kai's spirit travels across realms, observing tyrants rise and fall, cycles of violence repeat, and pivotal events unfold in a continuous spiral. What defines Kai's ending is not victory nor transformation, but revelation. Where he gazes into the future, he sees nothing, no destiny, no continuation, just a vast void. It's a sovereign moment of existential finality, especially within the context of Armageddon as the intended conclusion of the Mortal Kombat saga. For Kai, it's a moment of transcendence and melancholy, a realization that the story is truly over. No more realms to save, no more battles to fight, only silence.
The power of Blaze opened Kai's mind, and he became psychically linked to the One Being. He could see the One Being's dreams, from which all of reality is formed. In deep meditation, Kai allowed his mind to wander the realms in search of knowledge. He witnessed the rise of Shao Kahn and his eventual demise at the hand of Liu Kang, the return of the Dragon King, and the final battle at the pyramid. But when Kai looked to the future, he saw nothing.
Kano's ending is a brutal, poetic capstone to his legacy as one of Mortal Kombat's most persistent and admirable antagonists. Since his debut in the original Mortal Kombat, Kano has embodied the archetype of the unscrupulous mercenary, treacherous, cunning, and utterly self-serving. As leader of the Black Dragon, he thrived on chaos, manipulation, and brute force, consistently operating on the fringes of morality with no allegiance but to himself. In Armageddon, Kano's villainous journey takes a monstrous turn. Captured by the Red Dragon clan and used as a test subject for their experiments in creating a human-dragon hybrid, Kano once again finds himself on the brink of annihilation. But true to his survivalist nature, he escapes before the transformation is complete. The divine power of Blaze, however, finishes what the Red Dragon has begun, mutating Kano into a terrifying black dragon humanoid. This transformation is more than just physical, it's symbolic. Kano has always acted like a beast, now he is one. The mutation reflects the full embodiment of his brutality and cunningness. It's a dark reward for a life built on ruthlessness and opportunism. Even in victimhood, Kano manages to twist fate to from test subject to apex predator. His evolution cements him not just as a criminal, but as the Black Dragon incarnate.
For months, the Red Dragon had kept Kano hidden in their mountain stronghold, an unwilling test subject for a new process designed to transform humans into dragons. Kano escaped, however, before they could finish. Infused with godlike energy from Blaze, the process was rejuvenated. Kano was transformed into a Black Dragon human hybrid.
Kenshi's journey is a point of reflection on power, sacrifice, and the unintended consequences of achieving one's deepest desires. Introduced as a noble swordsman and telekinetic warrior, Kenshi has always been defined by tragedy, resilience, and a quiet sense of justice. Throughout the series, he remains a stoic figure, honorable, focused, and driven by a need for redemption. In his Armageddon ending, Kenshi's long pursuit of balance and retribution takes a bittersweet turn. The power of Blaze burns away the curse that caused his blindness, restoring his sight and enhancing his remaining senses to supernatural levels. At first, this seems like the reward he's long deserved, justice for his suffering and restoration of what was taken from him. But the reality is far more painful. The overwhelming flood of sensory input seems unbearable. His heightened sight and hearing drown him out in a world too vivid and loud to endure. Unable to cope, Kenshi retreats to a remote mountain cave, isolating himself in darkness and silence once more. This ending is deeply symbolic. What once seemed like a curse, his blindness had become a source of clarity and balance. Its removal, rather than liberating him, strips away that hard-won peace, leaving him more isolated than ever. Kenshi's fate speaks to desire and fulfillment, that true strength may not lie in recovering what was lost, but in learning to live with one's scars. This conclusion is neither triumphant nor tragic. It's a meditative reflection on the cost of yearning and the elusive nature of peace.
The fire of Blaze burned away the curse responsible for Kenshi's blindness. Not only was his sight restored, but he gained increased sensitivity to his other senses as well. As time went on, however, he found the sensory bombardment unbearable. Kenshi retreated to a remote mountain cavern where he remains isolated in a darkened, soundless chamber.
Now let's look at Chameleon, and that's Chameleon with a K. Chameleon's story is driven by vengeance, survival, and the reclamation of a lost identity. As one of the last surviving Saurians, also known as Raptors, from the realm of Zatira, Chameleon's life has been shaped by loss. Her people were nearly wiped out when Shao Kahn conquered and merged Zatira with Outworld. Unlike her male counterpart Reptile, who often serves Khan out of misguided loyalty, Chameleon sees him for what he truly is, the architect of her people's extinction. Rarely seen, but never forgotten, she has always operated in the shadows, attempting to warn Reptile, forge her own path, and preserve the memory of her race. By the time of Armageddon, Chameleon is no longer content with hiding. Consumed by grief and purpose, she seeks power of Blaze as a last chance to avenge Zatira. In her ending, she succeeds, unleashing her fury upon Shao Kahn and transforming him into a raptor, a creature now forced to serve her. She does the same to his followers. But at her high point, Chameleon loses control, extending her power beyond her enemies. Soon, both heroes and villains alike are remade in the image of the Raptors, bound to her will. For the first time since Zatira's fall, her people stand firm again, but at a heavy cost. Chameleon's ending is a blend of triumph and tragedy. She fulfills her mission, but in doing so, warps the fabric of the realms and sacrifices the individuality of countless souls. Her story of vengeance, taken too far, and power wielded out, warps the fabric of the realms and sacrifices the individuality of countless souls.
Drinking in the power of Blaze, Chameleon's eyes glowed as she focused her wrath on Shao Kahn. The Emperor would finally pay for destroying Zatira, and so too would those who served him. The pain he endured during his transformation was excruciating, and Shao Kahn, for the first time in his life, pleaded for mercy. She granted him none. Chameleon's power transformed Shao Kahn into a raptor, powerful like her, but subservient to her wishes. She then turned her attention to his allies, and they too were transformed. But she lost control of her newfound power, and mistakenly evaded the forces of light as well. Chameleon now had at her command an army of powerful raptor warriors. The might of Zatira had finally returned.
Kintaro's path is one of brute ambition, fierce loyalty, and an unrelenting hunger for supremacy. Introduced as a Shogun general and one of Shao Kahn's deadliest enforcers, Kentaro has long stood as a towering obstacle, a test of raw strength anybody can dare challenge Outworld. Though he shares the proud lineage of the Shogun race, Kentaro is uniquely driven by a desire to prove himself superior to all, including fellow Shogun champion Goro. Behind his loyalty lies a simmering ambition to rise above his station and command not as a servant but as a ruler. In his Armageddon ending, Kentaro's ambition is realized in a dramatic fashion. After defeating Blaze, he's granted 4 mystical swords, each capable of absorbing the essence of a powerful warrior. He targets Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Havoc, and Hataru, representative of fire, ice, chaos, and order. The badge is guided by unseen forces slay each warrior and capture their elemental and philosophical might. With these forces fused into his being, Kentaro becomes more than just a warrior. He becomes an elemental juggernaut, commanding the fundamental forces of the realms. This transformation is a stark elevation from enforcer to emperor, from brute to elemental master. Kentaro's only encapsulates the fulfillment of his deepest desires. Power unmatched, legacy secured, a supremacy undisputed. No longer just a pawn of Outworld, he becomes a symbol of unrestrained might, a reminder that ambition, when fused with opportunity, can reshape the very balance of power.
Upon defeating Blaze, a thunderous voice offered Kentaro 4 magic swords. Each would be infused with the power of any warrior of his choosing. Kentaro resolved to give the weapons the powers of fire, ice, chaos, and order. As if wielded by invisible hands, each blade found its victim and slew him. The vanquished souls were transferred to the weapons, and there they will reside. With the powers of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Havoc, and Hotaru at his command, none will challenge Kentaro anymore.
Kira's Sword is a tragic examination of trust, ambition, and the brutal cost of vulnerability in a world ruled by betrayal. First introduced in Deception, she emerged as a cunning, resilient fighter with a past as a freedom fighter, but her path took a darker turn when she joined the Black Dragon, a clan notorious for its ruthless, cutthroat nature. Unlike her reckless counterpart Cobra, Kira is calculated and strategic, often serving as the brains of their duo. Yet beneath her hardened exterior lies a flicker of loyalty and humanity, traits that the Black Dragon claimed are liabilities. In her Armageddon ending, Kira finally achieved what so many seek, godlike power after slaying Blaze, but her triumph is immediately marred by personal loss. Cobra has died in the battle. In a moment of compassion or perhaps misguided loyalty, Kira uses her divine abilities to resurrect him. That act of mercy becomes her undoing. Cobra, ever opportunistic, betrays her without hesitation, absorbing her life force and the power she earned. As he ascends to immortality, he scorns her weakness, seeing her kindness as a fatal flaw. Kira's downfall isn't the result of physical failure, but emotional vulnerability. Her story is a harsh reminder that in the Black Dragon, trust is a death sentence, and mercy is a weakness. Her tragic fate reinforces the brutal ethos of her clan. Survival belongs not to the strongest, but to the most ruthless.
Kira defeated Blaze and attained divine power. But in the battle, Cobra had been slain. Kira channeled her newfound energy into Cobra's body, slowly returning him to life. As Cobra regained consciousness, he reveled in the surge of godlike power and prevented Kira from severing their bond. Cobra devoured her life force and stole the prize, becoming immortal. He felt no shame in his betrayal. Kira was weak. She should have left him dead. That is the Black Dragon way.
Kitana's arc is a powerful evolution from pawn to protector, symbolizing justice, rebirth, and unity across the Mortal Kombat universe. Introduced as the adopted daughter of Shao Kahn and Princess of Edenia, Kitana began her journey trapped in a web of lies and manipulation. Over time, she rejected her role as Outland's obedient warrior, choosing instead to fight for Albinia's freedom. Her mother Sindel's redemption and the protection of the realms. In her Armageddon ending, Kitana's journey culminates in divine ascension. After absorbing Blaze's power, she forges a connection with the Elder Gods, who anoint her as their chosen champion. Elevated beyond mortal constraints, Kitana assumes a new role as the guardian of balance between the realms. Her first act as a divine leader is to assemble an all-elite female fighting force, Sindel, Jade, Sonya, and May, to take down the forces of darkness once and for all. Their victory reshapes the cosmos, evil is banished to the Netherlands, and lasting peace is finally secured. Kitana's transformation is both a personal triumph and a symbolic one. By leading a coalition of powerful women, she showcases strength and unity in the power of compassion, resilience, and leadership. Her rise from an apparent outcast to a God-chosen champion cements her legacy as one of Mortal Kombat's most enduring inspirational figures.
Absorbing the power of Blaze, Kitana attained a psychic connection with the Elder Gods and became their champion. To preserve the integrity of the realms, she formed an all-female fighting force whose members included Sindel, Jade, Sonya, and Li Mei. Together, they laid waste to the forces of darkness and trapped them in the Netherrealm forever.
Cobra's arc is a brutal warning about the perils of unchecked ego, blind ambition, and the hunger for power without purpose. A Street Fighter turned murderous thrill seeker, Cobra found his true nature within the Black Dragon clan, where violence was not only accepted but celebrated. Where other fighters fight for a cause and redemption, Cobra fights for the rush of combat, the thrill of bloodshed. In his Armageddon ending, Cobra's ambition finally catches up with him. After defeating Blaze and claiming divine power, he demands that the Elder Gods make him Lord of the Realms. Amused, or perhaps testing his arrogance, they grant his wish with one condition. No lord may rule without a lady. Cobra selects Kira, expecting obedience or shared glory. Instead, the Elder Gods twist his wish. They transform Kira into a goddess of death. In one final, ironic act, she kisses Cobra, draining his life and reducing him to ash. His downfall is poetic. Cobra is destroyed not by his enemies, but by his own hubris and the very person he thought he controlled. The Elder God's message is clear. Power demands reverence, not arrogance. In the end, Cobra becomes a footnote, a cautionary tale about those who grasp the divinity without understanding its cost.
Because of his victory over Blaze, Cobra's strength was increased 1,000-fold. Emboldened, he demanded the Elder Gods declare him Lord of the Realms. They assented, but added that no lord should be without his lady. Cobra chose Kira to rule his son, and the Elder Gods transformed her into a goddess of death. With a kiss, Kira extinguished Cobra's life force and reduced his body to dust. Let all who would make demands of the Elder Gods beware.
Kung Lao's arc is a profound meditation on legacy, destiny, and self-actualization. Throughout the Mortal Kombat series, he's lived in the shadow of his ancestor, the Great Kung Lao, whose defeat at the hands of Zoro centuries ago marked the beginning of Outworld's dominance over Earthrealm. This burden has shaped Kung Lao's identity, fueling his rivalry with Liu Kang and driving his quest to prove himself worthy of the Shaolin legacy. In his Armageddon ending,
Alright,
Kung Lao's
is
journey
that it?
takes an unexpected turn. After defeating Blaze, he's sent back to Khan, centuries into Earthrealm's past. There, he's granted the
I
chance
can
to
warp
enter
without
the
having to use
World
a
Tournament in
special.
his ancestors' place. Seizing the opportunity, Kung Lao defeats Goro and rewrites history, emerging as legendary champion his ancestors could have never became. This victory alters the timeline so profoundly that Liu Kang never competes and the iconic rivalry between the two monks never formed. In this new history, Kung Lao's legacy stands alone, no longer defined by comparison but by his own strength and choices. It's a powerful conclusion that reclaims his family honor and affirms his long sought individuality.
The power released by his victory over Blaze opened a portal, and Kung Lao found himself in Earthrealm hundreds of years in the past. His ancestor allowed him to enter the Mortal Kombat tournament in his stead. Kung Lao defeated Goro and won the tournament, becoming a legend. As a result, Liu Kang never competed, and Kung Lao's rivalry with him never came to be.
Li Mei's story is a powerful narrative of resilience, justice, and transformation from victim to avenger. Introduced in Deadly Alliance, she began as a humble villager from Outworld, caught in the grip of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung's tyranny. Her people were enslaved, and she was manipulated into fighting for her captors, suffering loss and hardship along the way. Over time, Li Mei evolves from a pawn to a fierce fighter driven by a desire to reclaim her freedom and avenge her people. She's defined by her refusal to surrender to despair and her determination to stand against overwhelming evil. In her Armageddon ending, Li Mei finally claims the power to set things right. Empowered by Blaze's energy, she condemns the souls of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to an eternity of torment. It's here they must endlessly battle wave after wave of enemies. This punishment is not just vengeance, but a symbolic act of justice. Li Mei's transformation from a powerless villager to an arbiter of fate marks the completion of her arc. By delivering retribution to her oppressors, she not only avenges her people, but breaks the cycle of suffering they perpetuated. It's a triumphant moment for a character who
I need to figure out how to decorate them here.
pain and perseverance.
Filled with the energy of Blaze, Li Mei had but one purpose for her newfound power. In retribution for slaying her people, she banished the souls of Quan Chi and Shang Tsung to an obelisk. Trapped inside the relic, they must fend off wave after wave of aggressors for eternity. Justice has finally been done.
Liu Kang's character arc is the ultimate realization of his journey. From humble Shaolin monk
What did Monk Daniel do?
finally divine guardian. Since his introduction, Liu Kang has been the moral compass of Mortal Kombat, a champion who fights not for glory but for Earthrealm's protection and the values of justice, balance, and compassion. His path has been filled with both triumph and tragedy. He's won multiple tournaments, died at the hands of his
Anyway,
enemies, and been resurrected.
let me spend embarrassing on my get going because I got something to do
separated from
today.
his soul and twisted by rage. Yet, even in death, Liu Kang remained a symbol of resistance and hope. In Armageddon, Liu Kang's arc comes full circle. The destruction of Blaze releases an energy surge that reunites his body and soul, restoring him to life, imbuing him with divine power. Reborn in both flesh and spirit, Liu Kang is whole again, ready to face his greatest trial. That trial comes in the form of Raiden, his former mentor, whose soul has been darkened by sacrifice and desperation. Their final battle is bittersweet. Liu Kang is forced to defeat the man who once guided him, but it is this moment that earns him the Elder God's blessing. He's named the new protector of Earthrealm, assuming Raiden's mantle not just in power but in purpose. Liu Kang's ascension to godhood is not just a reward for victory, but a reflection of his unwavering commitment to righteousness. He becomes not just Earthrealm's greatest champion, but its eternal guardian. In him, the ideals of Mortal Kombat live on.
The power released by Blaze's destruction reunited Liu Kang's body and soul. Whole once more and possessing the power of a god, he confronted Raiden, who had been corrupted by his suicide. Liu Kang reluctantly defeated his mentor in an epic clash. With consent of the Elder Gods, he replaced Raiden as protector of Earthrealm.
Movato's character arc is a meditation on ambition, control, and the unrelenting pursuit of supremacy. As a calculating leader of the Red Dragon clan, he represents a stark contrast to the chaotic violence of the Black Dragon, where his rivals thrive on anarchy. Movato embodies order through power, discipline, ruthless, and driven by a vision of criminal dominance dominance achieved through strategy, not savagery. Throughout the Mortal Kombat series, Mavado's defining trait has been his loyalty to the Red Dragon's ideals and his own strategic brilliance. His rivalry with Cabal and the Black Dragon isn't merely personal, it's ideological. It's a battle between two worldviews, structure versus chaos, control versus destruction. In his Armageddon ending, Mavado's ambitions are realized on an unimaginable scale. Empowered by Blaze, he awakens a latent ability to telepathically control anyone like with the Red Dragon symbol. He swiftly conquers both the Special Forces and Black Dragon Clan, branding their members and forcing them into servitude. With an army of brainwashed enemies, Mavado extends his reach to Earthrealm, bringing it under his iron rule. Mavado's transformation from master tactician to omnipotent overlord is the ultimate culmination of his arc. The act of branding his enemies isn't just a strategic move, it's a symbolic moment of
Oh shit, what the heck? What happens? The my patio?
He doesn't just defeat his foes, he rewrites their identities to serve his will. In doing so, Mavado's dream of a world governed by his brand of order becomes terrifyingly real.
Like, how do we remodel out here?
Mavado felt the fire of Blaze awaken something within him. Focusing his mind, he found he could control anyone bearing the Red Dragon symbol. Telepathically guiding his clan in battle, Mavado quickly subdued the Special Forces and the Black Dragon clan. He then tattooed their faces with the mark of the Red Dragon, so they too would serve him. As his forces grew, Mavado gained full control of Earthrealm.
Meat's character arc is a surreal tragedy, an existential journey through the themes of identity, transformation, and a search for meaning. Born as a failed experiment from Shang Tsung's flesh pits, Meat was originally introduced as a joke character, skinless, grotesque, and devoid of context. But beneath his absurdity lies a haunting story of a being struggling to define itself in a world that sees it as nothing. Unlike other fighters driven by purpose or vengeance, Meat's motivation is raw survival. His escape from the flesh pits is an act of both rebellion and desperation, a quiet scream for identity and autonomy in a world that deems him a mistake. He's not evil or ambitious. He simply wants to exist as more than an abomination. In his ending, that longing for identity reaches a cruel climax. After defeating Blaze, Meat gains the ability to shapeshift into anyone he desires. At first, this power seems like a blessing, a chance to finally belong. But as he morphs into countless forms, he loses all sense of self. What begun as a search for identity ends the erasure of it. Meek's ending is very dark. He achieves godhood only to dissolve into autonomy, forgotten and unrecognizable.
There you go.
Is not one of triumph,
I'm just
existential loss.
fucking around with my place for a minute.
Seeking validation through external transformation instead of internal acceptance.
Meat was an experiment who escaped Shang Tsung's flesh pits before he could be completely...
Wait, no, I didn't want to move in bed.
As the other combatants fought, Meat rushed unseen to the top of the pyramid and defeated Blaze. Godlike energy enveloped him, giving him the power to shapeshift. With the ability to become anyone, Meat lost his sense of identity
Yeah, whatever.
and disappeared into obscurity.
Melina's character arc is a twisted exploration of identity, envy, and the corrosive nature of unmet.
I'll do this later. Shit.
Created by Shang Tsung as a hybrid clone of Katana fused with Tarkatan blood, Melina has always
I'm absent.
channeled
But I'll do it later.
royal
Anyway, I gotta get
elegance
going.
and monstrosity. Her
I might be back on later tonight. We'll see. Anyway, have a good day. Good Sunday. Have a safe Sunday. Peace out. Later, later. Love you, love you, love you. Peace out. Love you, love you. Bye, 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 bye. Mwah. Bye.